All right. Okay. So let's get started. So in this topic, we will discuss about the Ad Studio admin part and the data management part as well, and some of the best practices you would need to follow in Ad Studios. So in the previous session, I'm sure you would have known how to create the ad audience and how to do the lead capture thing. So this time it's all about the admin part and then the data management part. Just of me. So currently, I'm just working at Sixt. I'm also part of Salesforce Marketing Cloud Champion, and I'm 5x Marketing Cloud certified. And then I do have a blog on my own, which have few blogs on the Marketing Cloud, which is called SalesforceFan.com. So now let's go into our agenda. So we'll quickly discuss about what the admin role in the ad studio part, and then first of all you would also need an ad studio license. So how would you what are all the things you need to consider on ad studio if at all your vendor is purchasing, or if you're working in a product based company or you are purchasing. So it's like that. So and then the second thing, once you get the ad studio part, how do you enable the permissions in the ad studio? And then once you have done on those parts, then how do you manage data with the ad studios, and what would be the best practices? So with that, let's get started. So let's cover the ad studio admin part. So let me just quickly take over on the I will just quickly show you guys on the ad studio admin part. So what you have to just come over here and then come to the come to the advertising studio, and here you will find the ad audiences. So once you have the ad audiences in place, then you will come to a overview screen. So in this case, it will tell you how many audiences are already there, and then how many of them are live, and how many you can use it. We'll cover it later point of time. But for now, with the admin part, you have to click on the administration part. So with respect to this administration part, you can connect up to like 7 different social accounts, right? So with Facebook, Google, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Social Studio, Pinterest, and Snapchat. So these are the 7 different social accounts you can able to connect. So if you would like to connect different accounts, so you can also click here of add account. I'm sure this has been covered as been in the first session, but still, if you would like to connect, you can, all you just need to click on this add account, then a pop-up window will appear, and then you have to enter your credentials. So if you look at this part, so we have connected multiple Facebook accounts. So in this case, there might be a company, it can be a um, it can be a multi country or multilingual company. They will maintain each Facebook account per country, or it can be each Facebook account per product. So it all depends upon the structure of the company on how they spend the ads in social medias. So that's why you can see there are a lot of Facebook accounts which has been already connected, and you also see the Google AdWords. So due to these things, so Marketing Cloud allows a number of social accounts to be connected, but only these 7 accounts on place, right? So this is a quick overview on the how to connect the social accounts. So this is what it's been explained here, and there is one more thing called we have some of the partners with respect to Ad Studio. So when I say partner, right, so it's about the DMPs. I mean, so in this case, you can able to send ads to these social platforms. But how do you get the data generally? So you get the data either by data extension or by Social Studio, right? And if you don't have any other platforms, then you can also use any of this DMPs. So Audience Studio or Crux, which is previously named so Marketing Cloud Bot. So and then it turned to the Audience Studio. So this is a DMP platform, and you can also connect the DMP so that you can bring the data directly from the DMP to the Marketing Cloud, and you can send the ad to the social media sites. So generally, it will not be enabled when you use a DMPs, right? So first you need to raise a support tickets for that, and you also need to have a DMP account for those. So if you look at the DMPs, what all we connect is the Audience Studio, Vient and New Star, Live Ramp, and Live Intent. So these are the DMPs or partner you can able to connect with the App Studio, so that you can bring the data from there, and then you can again push the ads via these social platforms, right? So but if you want to use it, first you need to raise a support ticket for it. So now, coming to the licensing part. All right, so now you have decided that, okay, I'm going to purchase an ad studio. Then you will reach out to Salesforce, and then Salesforce will give you a codes. Okay, this is what it is. So when you decided a code, so you may be a new existing Marketing Cloud user, and or you are purchasing a brand new org. So on either the case, first of all, you need an ad studio license in place. So make sure you have that license. And then second thing is that, so you would need to purchase the ad audiences. So this we call it as ad audiences. So currently we have purchased, like in this case it's 45 has been purchased. Out of those, 39 audience has been used and 6 are available. So when you consume all the 45 again, so you would need to repurchase, you need to negotiate with the account executive, and then you need to purchase more audiences in place. Or you can do that is that, you can delete any of the existing audience, so that it leaves the gap in place, then you can create a new one. But make sure when you delete the existing audience, make sure you don't use the same audience already in the Facebook or Google, etc., right? So because you cannot, once the audience gets deleted, you cannot use the same. So make sure you take a note of those things. So that's what I was trying to explain over here. So if you exhaust the limit, you need to repurchase more, and if you don't want to repurchase, you need to delete. But if you want to delete it, make sure you delete from both the systems, or you shouldn't use it in the social media platforms, and you can delete it. So this is about the ad studio licensing part, right? So now coming to the permission. So now let's say that you bought an ad studio, and you connected the account, but how do you how do you give permissions to the different users, Marketing Cloud users? So in this case, one is that, this is what you see over here is the two standard roles, right? So one is Marketing Cloud administrator, and then Marketing Cloud channel manager. So what this administrator will do is that, if you have the permission of administrator, you can able to connect the different social sites account, right? And then you can also manage the ads in place. With respect to the channel manager, so this is only specific to the ad studio. So you cannot able to connect accounts, but you can manage the ads. For example, you can able to create an audience, create lookalike audiences, and then you can refresh it, and you can manage the you can just manage the ads which flows from Marketing Cloud to social media channels. So basically, right, if I go back, so you have two standard roles. So actually you have many standard roles in that. Administrator is one channel role, and then Marketing Cloud channel manager is another role. With these two roles, you can able to access advertising studio. If you want to also create a custom role, you can also create a custom role, and you can assign these permissions in place, so that these are the permissions. So then they can able to do the same with the custom roles as well. Okay, so moving on. So so right now we have covered, so far we have covered on how, what are the different social and how to connect to it, and then yeah, so and also the onboarding partner and the permission sets. So now let's go into the data management concept. So now we have added the permissions. Now we would like to implement the ad studio part, right? So first of all, to understand the data management part, I would like to bring up few use cases, so that you can relate more of sending ads to the platforms, right? So what are the common use cases in ad studio scenario? Could be that you want to create a lookalike audiences, assuming that you have already a consumer base, right, of let's say 10,000 contacts or 50,000 customers you already have. Now you want to add more customers or lead in place, or you want to add more lookalike leads in place, so that you can send the ads to the social media platform to those new leads, and then you can take them into a lead or customer depending upon they purchase it or not, right? So in this case, what we can able to do with the ad studio is that you already have a data extension of 50,000 records. From 50,000 records, you can use the lookalike audiences, right, to create a duplicate of the 50,000 record. When we say duplicates, is based upon the interest, so this is available only for Facebook. Just part of note, this is not available for any other social media platforms. So in Facebook, they collect your interest, they collect what you like and what you not like. So that's you assuming that you are one of the part of 50,000 audience. So now what the Facebook will do is it will try to match with the same interest of your profile. So if you like a car, then whoever is liking the car, then it will give you that results, and for those the ads will be sending out from Facebook, and they can click on the button of sign up or subscribe, and then they fill in the details, so they become a lead from there, and then if they purchase, yeah, it becomes a customer. So this is one common use case of if you want to generate more leads or customers in place. And then next thing is that okay, so so now we have multiple ad studios, right? So I mean multiple studios, right? Email studio, mobile studio, and ad studio. So in this case, I don't want to target anyone who opened the email. So let's say you have sent out an email of the promotion offer, right? 50% off on tomorrow. So you sent an promotion offer, and the customer have opened an email. So you don't want to send the ads on the same 50% offer in the social media campaign. It's waste of money for you as well, and the customer have already converted, so you don't have to reconvert them again, right? So for that, you need to, you can keep an audiences as a suppression as well, right? So it doesn't mean that ad audience needs to be used for targeting purpose. It can also be used for the suppressing purpose as well. So in this case, it can be a suppress. So whoever have opened the email or opened the click, you can create an audience from out there, and then yeah, you can just suppress them while sending out the campaign. So this is one use case, and the other use case is that okay, so whoever have not engaged, I would like to engage them with the ad studio. So you send an email for 1 million customers. Out of this 1 million customer, 100K customer didn't engage, so I would like to send an ads for 100K customers, right? So these are the common use case. So now the whole point of me explaining the common use case is that okay, these are the things which we can do with ad studio. Now what would be the difficulties part, right? So to understand more about the data thing, you would also need to know about the difficulty part. So with respect to the difficulties part, then you can understand much more in the data part. So your ad audiences is limited. When you purchase your ad account, so your ad audiences is very limited. So you have to make sure, if you don't have a budget, then you have to make sure that you try to create an ad audience within these systems. So in this case, then what can I do is, like, I can create more generic ads. So imagine that you are an e-commerce store of clothing business. So instead of targeting your t-shirt or shoe separately, I will just target an ad for the whole men. So since I want to reduce this ad audience, I can create one audience of whole men. I can send out an ad. So in that case, what will another thing will happen is that it will become too much generic, and you need to spend a lot of money on the social media who may or may not be able to interact. So they may not be interesting as well. So in that case, one is that you either need to purchase more, or you have to be too generic, right? So to do that, so you have to first so how would you like to manage this, right? So first you would need to So first you would need to do a trial and error method, right? So you try to create an ad audience with respect to you try to create an ad audience with respect to a particular segment. For example, if I'm interested in shoe, whoever has interested in shoe, I just want to send the shoe audience in place for the shoe customers, and then try to see the return of investment. So if you are spending like 100 rupees, make sure you get a benefit from 500 to 1000 rupees, or at least 10,000. So the return of investment should be at least like 5 to 10x. Then your campaign is working fine. Many people are clicking the ad and then they go to the website and they purchase the shoes. If it's like less than that, then I would recommend you just cancel or delete the ad license in place, and then you can just delete the ad license in place. Then you can create a new audience and try for a new scope. So this is how you would manage. And I would also recommend you to go via the journey builder as well. So it gives you much more um, deeper into the segment. So let me just show you what I'm trying to say. So you can come to the journey builder. So now I'll just try to create a journey. So so there is a data extension in place, and I am sending out an email, right? So after sending out an email, I wait for I wait for 1 day, right? And again, I what I try to do is I try to check the engagement split, right? So with this 1 day, I try to check the engagement split if they have opened or not. So whoever has not opened, now what I'm trying to do is I will add them into the audience. Now, so if you look at the data management practice, there is a difference between directly adding the audience here itself, mapping the whole data extension in place, and there is a difference between the segmentation over here. So if you map the whole audience in place, imagine that you have a data extension of 100K customers, right? So when you create an audience, I'm sure this has been discussed in previous sessions. So when you create an audience, you can also map the data extension in place. Then all the 100K audience will come as part of your audience. In this case, um, the people who have opened the email also will be part of your audience in place. But when you go with this add audience in place, here whoever have not opened will be your part of the audience. So you can, one is that you have already interacted with the customer and you have already converted, and second part is that you don't have to waste so much money on spending the ad who have already opened the email. So these are few things which you can make use of it with respect to the journey builder. So here also you will just need to mention whether you would need to go with the Facebook. If it's Facebook, which account I would like to do that, and then what's the source? It's my customer data, and I will just type in the audience. So whatever the audience I type in, so it will also be coming up over here. So it will just come over here. So then you click on done. So once you would need to first of all map the audiences, right? So in this case it's not even active account, so you first need to map, and then you need to create it. So, so this is one more way of doing. The other way of doing is that, so you can also directly push the ad campaign to the social media platform. So this ad campaign is only available for Facebook. It's not available for other mediums in place. So this ad campaign, you can directly, you don't have to create audience, and then you put the audience in the Facebook ad account. So what from here, what you can do is like you can directly push the ads direct to the social media platform itself. So here you would need to set up everything, right? So here you can just set up everything, and then you would need to So here you can also put like how much time you want to remain retained, how many days you would like to remain retained, so you don't want to push the same audiences in place. So that's the reason you will be having up here. So here you can select the Facebook page, and then you can give your own name over here. So in this case I will give a test campaign. Offer 50% now. So this would be the, so for now I'll just give you some a random link, right? So and then how do you like to display? So you whatever you type in, so that particular thing will be displaying in the left hand. So the left hand side is what you type in, and then the uh, right hand side is what it will tell you how it will be rendering up. So in this case, I would need to connect the Facebook in place so that I can able to get it. So since it's a business account, so it might take some time. And also you can also do that if you want to shop now, you can also directly put them into the website in place, right? So whatever you type in here, you can able to see. But this account, I don't have the permission of the this particular Facebook account, so it may not be having that case. So in this case, you can able to spend. It will also ask you how much you can able to spend, and then what's your ad category in place. So you just need to set up these things. So then the ad will directly push it to Facebook instead of creating an ad audiences as well. So you don't have to have this license. You don't need to think about this license in place, because you are directly pushing the ads to the social media sites. So these are the ways, few ways to manage. The one way is to tackle the licensing part. Another way is to manage the generic part. So now with that, let's go to the best practices. So imagine that you are now, you may ask that, okay, so I have a huge list of customers. I have a huge massive customer base of 40 million contacts or 50 million contacts. Can I do the ad? Of course you can do the ad, but you might experience certain difficulties. So Salesforce recommends you not to send more than 20 million contacts. So what you can basically do is, like, you can split the data extension into 2 or 3 splits if you have more than 40 or 50, like that. So you can split it with less than 20, and then you can send it. Alternatively, you can also reach out to support if you want to refresh more 20 million contacts in place. But generally I would recommend you to split it, and then either ways it would be the same. The data extension keeps refreshing every day, and then the audience keep refreshing every day. So it's good to split it. Now so you sometimes what happens is, like, you might notice in Facebook, um, it's like 110% match and 120% of the audience match. So in that case, what will happen is that first the creation will happen and the deletion will happen, so let's say you today 100 records are entering into the data extension, and tomorrow 200 records are entering to the data extension. So what the ad audience will do is that it will just try to push the 200 in place, right? So it will become 300, so your percentage increases. And if you do the retention setting later point of time, then the deletion happens. So you would need to give a some amount of like 48 hours gap in place, so that it gives you a accurate count in place. So another question is that so you may ask, okay, so I have these many ad accounts, right? Can I create one ad audience for all these accounts? In that case, my answer will be no. So you can only create one ad audience tagging to one Facebook ad account. So if you notice, this account ID is different with every ad accounts, right? So you can only able to create one audience per one ad account. So that's what I was trying to explain up here. And if you are deleting anything, yeah, make sure you delete it. And let's say that your ad audience license is removed, now you are no longer using the advertising studio license itself, and you are no longer using the advertising audiences, then I would suggest not to use the ad audience in the Facebook. So make sure you remove all the ad audiences in the Facebook as well if your license is expired, etc. So that's one more thing you need to keep in mind. And next thing is that whenever you try to send out an ad, right, you just make sure that you put some retention policy out there, like I want to delete this record after X days. Then so that you avoid sending the same ads every now and then. The capping would become so high, and you are spending to the person of showing the ad repeatedly, even though he doesn't like it. So I would recommend you put some dates over there in your data extension when you create when you create an ad audience, so that you don't keep sending too much of ad to that person every day, and it also leads your it also burns your money as well when you do an ad. Then yeah, the last one is that you cannot be able to mix and match the ad accounts. So for one ad audience, you can only able to create one for one ad audience with if you want to create one ad audience, you can only able to use with one ad account. You cannot use multiple ad accounts in place. So yeah, this is all the best practice in place. I think this is all I have. Probably I just wanted to show you guys how in the real life scenario the ad studio works. So this is how it would be. Just a sample I just wanted to show you. So in this case, we have mapped a data extension for the Google Ads, and the matching rate would be 54%, which means the email address of what we have in our customer base and what you have in the social media site match almost 54%. Then you can able to send an ad for these 54%. In this case, the match rate is 96%, which is like high. So most of the B2C, if you are a B2C customers in place, then you can definitely go with these ad studios, so that it will also notify you how much percent you is the matching rate, and it gives you a knowledge. Okay, I can able to send more revenue or get more revenue from marketing cloud, so with this ad. So this is how the sample real life use case will be looking with the particular ad studio thing. So yeah, I think that's it I have for now, but let me know if you guys have any questions.
Thank you so much, Naveen, for such a wonderful session. We do have few questions for you. What's the difference between advertising studio and social studio?
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's a very generic question. So most of the people gets confused between the ad studio and social studio. So social studio will help you to engage the audience. Imagine that you have a Facebook page. Imagine that you are running a company right now, right? So you create a Facebook page, and in that you post some hey, here is my new arrivals. You post some new shoes, and customer is saying in the comment. So you post in a page, and customer is coming over there and clicking on your comment and say, hey, I'm not satisfied with the product. And social studio will notify you that someone has commented on that with a negative feedback. So social studio will help you to engage with the comments, but it will not help you to send out an ads like this. So in this case, social studio would be more of like engaging things, like how you use the email studio for email engaging, so you use the social studio for social engaging. That's it. With respect to the ad studio, you would try to send out an ads. You try to push to the, it can be the new lookalike audiences, or it can be your existing customer base. You try to send out an ads, and customer sees that, and they try to click on it and go to the website and then do the purchasing thing. So it's more of an ad based. Social studio is more of an engaging based, or listening based. So I think that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you so much. We do have one more question. While extracting data from different platforms to prepare reports, what kind of data will come from advertising studio and what kind of data from?
All right. So, so with respect to the ad studio, you don't get any reports. Okay. So I can tell you the architecture behind it. So it's probably the one-way communication, So, Marketing Cloud has the customer related informations in a data extension of your email address, your phone number, and Marketing Cloud sends this information to Facebook or any other social sites in a encrypted format. It's called SAH 256. So it via encrypted way, it sends the data to Facebook and other social platforms. So with that, you can able to run the ads. Now, you cannot able to measure on how many people have clicked and how many people have signed up. So for those measurements, you need to use Dataroma in place, or you have a small, if you are not using Dataroma, or you can also use, there is a tool called Pixel in Facebook itself. So you can also use, from there you can able to know how much ad you spent and how much revenue you got and how many people have interacted with your ads. But say Facebook will not give any data directly to Marketing Cloud, but you can use this analytics tools like Pixel or Datarama to get the tracking reports from there. So that is with respect to the ad studio. Now coming to the social studio point of view, so social studio listens and engage as well, right? So it also listens. So if you type anything negative, it listens to that. So Social Studio can able to you can able to create a dashboard, what people are talking about, what your customers are talking about, and what are all the keywords your customers are interacting with. So those things, you can able to get it in Social Studio. But the amount of clicks and if they purchase or not via ads, that's something you can get it via Datarama or these tools.
Answering that, we do have one more question. As you mentioned, add audience will add the audience over the existing audience and data extension. Will it create duplicate entries in that case, or it will identify on the basis of subscriber key and will not create duplicate?
Yeah, so in this case, so we shouldn't confuse between the usual email studio part and the mobile studio part. So your contacts is depend upon the subscriber key, right? So here your thing is depend upon the licensing part, like how much license you have. So the subscriber key doesn't matter because you are just pushing the data from Marketing Cloud to Salesforce. So all it uh, Marketing Cloud to Facebook, all it matters is the number of licensing part. So it can be a multiple subscriber key, but the same email address could be there, and it depends upon the number of audience you created.
So much, Naveen. That ends up the session and the workshop for now. Thank you so much for the session.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
Kitty,
you.
for organizing everything. Actually, you guys are doing awesome job. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. I have the Kahoot